Ernie and I used to have breakfast at the Royal Cafe down here. We'd discuss the news of the world, and one morning I came in and I said, you know, Ernie, I read this article in the New York Times about this thing called a village, Beacon Hill Village up in Boston. Ernie said, that's a funny thing. I read about that in the International Herald Tribune. And we tossed the idea back and forth.
That idea really hit me. It said, you know, this is something that we really should be spending some time on.
We realized that there were lots of aspects of this that we weren't really qualified to deal with, and we asked for Judith's help.
Well, we were kind of working together on gathering ideas about this, and I'd gone out to San Francisco to look at the equivalent of Beacon Hill and some of this, and I got very inspired. And of course, I had practiced geriatrics for several years at Georgetown and also in a nursing home, and I always felt that a nursing home is not the answer. And when, you know, in talking with you all and learning about the village movement, this just was perfect.
That was 3 or 4 years ago. And today there's something like 26 villages in the metropolitan area, and there are over 120 nationwide, so that this idea has come to be known. And we got a lot of help from a lot of people, but then we realized that there were a lot of people in the community that we needed to touch base with too. You were very involved in that, Judith.
We went to community groups, and I remember you and I think Ernie went to a couple of them. We tried a survey, online survey, but a lot of the people we wanted to talk to weren't online. So we actually had questionnaires and interviews with people.
One of the things we haven't mentioned is how many farmers markets we went to. And the market square, every Saturday we had our little booth there.
I used to see somebody with white hair and I'd chase them around with a membership form. But one of my stories I like best is it's true. I went to see a person in her 80s, and there was a 40-foot ladder leaning up against the side of her house. I said, what are you going to do with that ladder? She said, well, I'm going to clean the maple leaves out of my gutters. And I said, hadn't you got a son who could come help you and do that? And she said, oh, he has acrophobia. He's afraid of high places. So I said, just promise me one thing, whether you get with us or not, don't get on that ladder. I'm going to send somebody over here within 2 days to get the leaves out of your gutter. Yeah. She joined and was a supporter, but it was my introduction to seeing people of my age trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing. I anticipated people would need, rides to the doctor, the light bulb replaced, the yard raked. I didn't think potential members would take so easily to the idea of a social association with persons whom they didn't know. And that has turned out to be the case, and is very pleasing to me.
Actually, that's what we found out, is that the social aspect of AHA has a much higher value than the other services, even though they're used also.
From a medical standpoint, a huge portion of health relates to social support and interaction with others.
Most of us would agree that life has speeded up. Certainly it's a lot faster than it was when I grew up in Heber Springs, Arkansas. And it seems that the faster life becomes, the further apart people are taken, and we're going away from each other too much, and we need things that bring us back together, the traditional things that bound us. We can provide that, and it gives us joy too.
The basic ingredients in happiness is giving, not taking, is giving. And this fits perfectly into that that whole concept.
I didn't know you were a philosopher.
Also, I'm a Jewish philosopher, the best kind.